What's up? Welcome back to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, and I am sitting here next to
Miguel Ramirez.
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, babe.
To the most amazing daddy in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, not really. But I try.
The kids would agree with me.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's up, babe? What's going on? Happy Father's Day to all you daddies out there.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to my dad.
This is take 3 of our podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
We were talking about on one of the earlier takes. The reason we started again is because I forgot to get my Father's Day card that the kids made me. But you had said Happy Father's Day to all the single moms out there in one of the other takes.
Well, yeah, because there's some single moms.
That's great.
That
mothers have their own day. And happy Father's Day to all the single dads out there that have kids.
No, totally. And I agree with that. Like there's some single daddies doing it all on their own, like meaning the mom is not involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and they are great fathers.
Yes.
And we recognize them on Father's Day.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day to them.
Women that are doing the mom and dad roles. So
and that's great.
Here.
And we will recognize them next Mother's Day. So
whatever.
Oh man.
Get over yourself.
I'm just saying. That's how you win the argument, or at least end in a tie. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So let's see your shirt.
There, yeah, this is my Father's Day present.
Yeah.
Number one dad.
One of them.
One of the number one dads.
Yes.
There's a lot of number one dads out there.
No, you're the number one dad.
No, thanks, babe.
Okay. So are we going to talk about your Father's Day things? Or are we getting to the kids?
Yeah, no, we're going to get to the kids. Okay. Our kids had a Jiu Jitsu tournament this weekend, yesterday.
Yes.
Which was awesome. And we'll bring them down so that they can say a little something.
It was so emotional. Watching my daughter, who has such an amazing spirit, just a very loving spirit. And I just didn't know exactly where she was going to go with this, but she brought it home. Let's just say that she brought it home. What's going on?
Come on, guys.
What's up?
This is their first time on the podcast.
What's up? He's
imitating his mom. What's up? He might be a little comedian when he grows up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they did
awesome. How dare you? They did awesome. Their tournament was yesterday, and we're super proud of them. We're super proud of them for going out there and competing. I haven't competed before, so no matter what happened, I told them they're great because they put it out there. They went out there and they competed, right, guys?
Yeah, because jiu-jitsu, I mean, it is a team sport, but I mean, when you're out there competing, it's just you and the other individual on the mat, and so it took a lot of courage for them to be able to go out there and did what they, to do what they did.
Were you nervous, Joe, when you went out there?
No.
You weren't nervous?
Dude, you were super nervous.
You were super nervous. But it's okay. It takes practice, right? We got to keep practicing?
I was not nervous.
No? Okay. How about you, Audrey? How did you feel? Was it harder than you thought, or was it like training?
Basically, it wasn't really that hard for me. Somehow I was with the 4-stripe, and I'm like, wasn't that hard actually. I got him out a couple times, and I won first place.
That's awesome. What did I tell you about the stripes?
They don't matter.
A 1-stripe can beat a 4-stripe, right? If they want it more? If they fight harder?
Yes, because I was a 3-stripe and I beated a 4-stripe.
That's right. And we're super proud of you guys. You guys did awesome.
I am a 2-stripe and I beat a 4-stripe.
What? That's awesome. All right, you guys can go upstairs.
Okay.
We love you guys.
I want some snacks.
Okay, we'll get you some snacks in a little bit. All right?
Nope.
They're too cute. Go upstairs. All right, we'll see you guys in a minute. All right. As soon as we get done recording the podcast. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of kids competing from the school yesterday.
Yeah,
there was like younger kids, there was older kids, and then today the tournament continued, and we had a bunch of adults competing also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I was probably more nervous than my daughter.
Yeah.
I was like really nervous. I was like shaky nervous. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling you on the way over there, it's so funny, like the way the kids are, because they are exactly like us. Mm-hmm. You know, so from our house to the Jiu Jitsu tournament is about it's like a 40-minute drive. So while we're driving, we're playing music. We have the music turned up so that they can start, getting pumped up for the tournament and all that. And we look in the back seat, and my son has he's like stone-faced, no smile, no nothing. He's just like looking straight ahead. And Audrey's in the back seat, bobbing her head and moving around, dancing in her seat and singing. And yeah, it's funny. But I think Joey wasn't expecting that, the tournament.
Yeah.
He had a hard time. He lost in the first round. And I think part of it was being super nervous.
Yes.
Because he was training. He was training hard last week. Yeah. I mean, he was rolling with all the big kids in his class, and he was doing really good. But he was just nervous. And also when the match started, usually or at least in our school, you slap hands, right. You bump fists, and then you fight. Where here at the tournament, the referee just kind of said, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight." So I don't know if he was expecting to bump hands, so he didn't know that it was starting, and the other kid wasn't messing around. Right. He ended up in second place.
Yeah.
And it's different for the boys and the girls, because I showed you the brackets. So for the boys, in order for Joey to even get third place or get a medal, he had to win like maybe 4 or 5 fights just to get into third place. And then he would have to fight for second and then first. So he might have had, in order to get first place, you have to maybe have 5 or 6 fights.
Yeah.
Where Audrey, there was only a few girls in her bracket. So Audrey fought twice and beat both of the girls and ended up in first place. But either way, they both learn.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told you this, but on Saturday in the morning, I told the kids, I was like, "You guys know what tomorrow is, right?" And they said, "Tomorrow's Father's Day." And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "You know what would make Daddy really happy? If you guys bring home a couple of gold medals."
You did not. Get out.
No, I didn't. No. Of course I didn't say that. Yeah. But
no, you could tell that like Joey
he froze up.
Yeah, even from the beginning, like when they called him out, he was still like kind of looking around, not sure what to do.
Not only that, but he doesn't like taking his shirt off in front of people that he doesn't know. And
he's
in
very
the tournament,
private.
Part of the rules is like you can't wear a shirt because they don't want your fingers, like if you're grabbing for a choke and your fingers get caught up in a t-shirt or whatever. So if you're a male, even for men and for boys, you can't wear a shirt. You can only wear your gi top, the uniform. So he had to take his shirt off, which already threw him off.
He was not excited about that at all. Like we had to bribe him.
Yeah. So Coach and I talked to him, and we told him that starting next week or whatever, we're going to start working on rolling without the shirt on so that he gets more comfortable with it, so that he gets used to it. But but the good thing is that he said he wants to do it again.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting that, but
yeah, he said no at the tournament, but then later on yesterday in the car, he said he wanted to.
Yeah.
So awesome. And Audrey's super excited. So the first match, she won by points. Yeah. She won 14-0.
Yeah.
And then the second match, she won by submission. Yeah. She got an armbar.
So this little girl is money motivated. Audrey.
Oh my God.
Audrey is money motivated. It's so funny because she has such a beautiful heart. I thought she'd be more motivated by helping people. And she is, but so she's
you would think that you get your first medal. Yeah. Like this is her first actual trophy.
And it's super heavy,
like
by the way.
She's gotten trophies in soccer, but everybody got that trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the first one that she earned herself. Mm-hmm. Like she got it because she won.
Right.
What does she want to do with it?
She said she's going to sell it.
She's like, this thing's made out of gold.
She's like, I'm going to sell it and get the money.
She's like, Dad, do you know how much money I could get for this?
Oh my God.
So any of you that are interested,
right?
yeah,
Was it on the way home?
It was after the tournament. It might have been in the parking lot. So any of you that are interested, you might find an Arizona Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gold medal
right
on eBay.
Oh no. She's hilarious.
Oh
so
my
hey,
God.
we're leaving it at that.
I had to break her heart this morning.
Did you? Why? Then she
and I told her that it wasn't real gold.
You shouldn't have.
But I did tell her that the real, like when you go to one of the big tournaments, those are gold medals. Like the Olympics, they're real gold.
Oh. So she has to get.
She's got to get to those levels if she wants the real gold. Oh man, it was so funny.
I know. Funny little girl. So I just wanted to talk to some of our listeners out there because I've been having, and I appreciate your prayers and your good vibes and everything. Because people have been listening to the last podcast and they're like, Sonja's going to turn into a heathen. Like, and a lot of them are nervous because
we've got some people that are worried.
You know, and because they're like, well, I don't want him, you know, like he's going to turn her, you know, to believe what he believes.
To the dark side.
And there's no way. Like, I believe in God. I've said this over and over again. Like, you know, I have a very intimate relationship with him where my faith will not be broken. It won't. But I want it, you know, my mom's been sending me prayers. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, you were telling me about that.
I know that she blames herself, you know, for not taking us to mass and, you know, being active, you know, in the church. You know, my mom is a Catholic and my grandfather was a huge, you know, he was huge as well. And
huge Catholic.
Into Catholic. And she's just not very excited about me and my sister being Christians and, you know,
Catholics are Christians.
Well, that's not the way she sees it, you know.
Yeah.
And so she's so worried about it. But Mom, it's
seems
not your fault.
Seems kind of judgy.
You know, you know, I'm gonna be fine. Okay, I do believe in God, and I'm just going through this journey, and everything's gonna be okay. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. You know, I'm still reading my Bible and, you know, trying to figure out what it is that I need to figure out. But I did want to say thank you to Stevens. And that is...
Which Stevens?
Your best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to him on the phone for at least an hour the other day.
So I'm expecting a package from Amazon.
Yeah.
And I see a package in my mailbox from Amazon. And I was like, oh, it's here.
Yeah.
Turns out that wasn't what I was expecting.
He's like, did you buy something from Amazon? And did you forget about it? And I'm like, no. But he sent me a book to read. I have watched the movie, The Case for Christ. I have not read the book. So I'm very excited about reading the book. So thank you so much. I appreciate your gift.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That my best friend buys you books. What about me? I thought we were best friends.
He's going to be my best friend.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's been like just nonstop because of the tournament and just stuff going on. Like, I mean, we went to training 4 times last week. And then, yeah, I mean, it was get home from work. I think it's like I have less than 30 minutes between the time I get home from work and I had stuff going on afterwards. I had like this mentoring thing one day. And then the other day I tried to go buy some stuff at Home Depot for things around the house. So like I get home, run upstairs. Like I'm calling you, telling you, tell the kids to get their gis on. And cause I'm right back out the door.
Yeah.
So we go to the gym, train, come home. You're making dinner. We have dinner and last week wore us out.
Yeah, well, your hours changed.
My hours changed, so I'm working 10 hours a day.
Yeah, but you're getting up
I'm getting up at 4.
At 4 o'clock now. Not getting home till 3:30.
See, before I used to get up at 4 to work out.
At 5.
But now
So
it's not even to work out. I'm getting up at 4 to go to work.
Yeah.
And that is just cutting it close. Just get up, get dressed, go to work. So
today you're taking the day off besides
cooking some steaks
grilling
later.
the steaks.
Heck yeah.
No, I was thinking of buying him some steaks. Oh, by the way, I did buy you some tickets to go see Joe Rogan for Father's Day.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got some awesome Father's Day gifts.
Yeah. And it's not until December, but hey, and then you didn't even mention your socks.
So, I guess we can go through my Father's Day gifts. So I got this t-shirt.
Yay.
Number 1 dad. And I also got these socks. Let me see.
This is all.
If you can read this. There you go.
Yep.
It says, "Get me another cold beer."
It says another or get me a beer?
Probably. Oh, no. Get me a cold beer.
Get me a cold beer.
It probably should say another. Because I'm probably already,
It should.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I got that. I got the shirt. And then you got me tickets to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
In December. So that's going to be awesome. That'll be really cool.
Gifts like that because I also get a ticket.
Yeah. Those are the best kind of gifts. Yeah. We buy each other gifts that we can both go to.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, I've been working on my relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
I did call him and I asked him what he was going to do for Father's Day because I was thinking, we could stop by, and he said that his wife might be taking him out to eat. So I said, well, let me know, what's going on, so I know whether to stop by or either I can take you out to eat, for Father's Day. So, but I did take him out to eat 2 weeks ago, and I've been calling him, I want to call him at least once a week to, just to get to know him because I feel like I really don't know him.
Yeah.
You
want to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot the card.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The kids made me this card. We're all over the place today. The kids made me this card, number 1 dad, and then they wrote in there, my daughter drew little pictures of our family.
Look at the Legos.
And then it's got Legos in there. So it says, 5 reasons you are the best dad. You raised us since we were born. You love us. You watch TV with us. You play with us. You work hard for us. By Audrey. And then Joey wrote, I love you. Love Joey. And then he put these Legos in here.
So
and all the Legos are supposed to be us. Dad, Mom, Audrey, and Joey. And it says family sticks together.
Isn't that so
Yeah,
sweet?
that's awesome.
That was not my idea, just so you know.
Really?
No, that was them.
That was all them?
That was them. That's cute,
that's awesome.
right?
I love that. That's the best.
No, yeah, those are the best cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if she put the date on there, but I asked her.
No, we'll put it on there.
To put the date on there. So, very cool.
So, you know what? Before, not before the podcast, but earlier in the day, I was talking to my dad. I called him for Father's Day. And he mentioned something that makes a lot of sense. I mentioned that we were reading from your journal, a couple weeks ago. And he was saying something about, like, memories that we have. He's like, sometimes, like, he was talking about how me and him have a lot of memories together. And that when you repeat the memories, that they kind of stay fresh in your head. Like the ones that you keep repeating are the ones that you kind of keep forever. And the ones that you don't, they kind of slowly fade away. You forget about them. And it made me think of your journal. I don't know if he mentioned writing in a journal or something like that, but I told him that you had a journal and that you had a journal for the kids, and that, that he's right. Like, you have this section in your journal that we forgot about, but because you had it written down, we remember it now.
Right.
And there are certain things that we remember, some of the things that we forgot in your journal were some of the hard times that we were having, which that I guess is kind of easy to forget because you don't want to keep thinking about that. But I guess it's good to remember, because that's stuff that we've been through. But it was kind of interesting. It's true. Like, there's a lot of memories that you just stop talking about and they just kind of fade away. You know?
Did he?
And he sent me a couple pictures of us when I was little, when I was a baby, like 9 months, and Christmas, and just me as a little kid with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was cool. What's up?
Nothing.
So last week you had some stuff that you didn't get a chance to get to, that you said you needed more time for.
Well, yeah. And I was looking through my list, and one of the topics is, why is it easier for us to keep our word or our promises to others than it is for ourselves? You know, like say, you know, I tell you that, you know, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on some things. And it's easy to keep my promise to you or to other people versus keeping a promise that I promised to myself.
Yeah.
You know, does that make any kind of sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
You know, and so that was just like a topic. Like I was thinking, like, why is that? Why is it so easy to keep a promise to someone else versus...
Do you know why? I think I know why.
Do you?
Because when you make a promise to somebody else, you've told somebody else.
Accountability.
When you make a promise to yourself, you usually don't tell anybody. It's just between you and you. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to hold, like, nobody's going to know. It's all right. No big deal if you don't follow through.
Right.
But when it's between you and somebody else, they're counting on you, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have this agreement that we made together, our 90-day.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't help me this morning.
I don't know. Yeah, it's true.
You didn't.
Hey, I'm like,
so
do your
morning,
thing.
Okay,
I'll get
ladies.
myself a little bite of those pancakes.
So Miguel's a little confused and he didn't quite understand.
What?
So this morning I woke up feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, and us women, we have some...
So this is during breakfast.
That we go through. I woke up, I didn't sleep very well. I woke up very groggy. It's Father's Day, right? I'm working on the, you know, making sure the kids finish their card, and, you know, I wanted to make breakfast for everybody. But while I'm doing all this, I start feeling a certain way. Like I start getting emotional, and, you know, him and I have been very, very busy, and we haven't, in my eyes, like we haven't spent quality time together, right? We haven't been.
It's been busy. It's been
intimate.
crazy. Yeah.
And he knows how I get when that happens. But, you know, so I'm feeling a certain way and I'm starting to get emotional. I'm thinking to myself, well, like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know, like, what's going on? And I'm thinking, is it that time of the month? Like, is Aunt Flo coming? And then I realized Aunt Flo came earlier in the month when she shouldn't have came.
No, let's get into more detail about that.
Hey,
yeah.
This is what this is. Because you know what? My women out there are going to be like, girl, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was crazy.
This is going to be called
Right?
The Red Podcast. The title of this one. Oh, man.
So I'm feeling this way, and
You start crying in your pancakes.
I'm trying to figure it out. Shut up. So we're doing this 90-day run, and I'm thinking, you know what? I want some pancakes, and it's like, I'm giving in. Like, that's it. And they're going to be banana nut pancakes. And I asked him if he wanted some, and he said no. And I said, whatever. I'm making me some banana nut pancakes, right? So I'm cooking, and we service, I serve everyone, and we're here, and I'm upset with him. Like, I'm just like, I'm feeling a way. I'm feeling a certain way.
Yeah, you got some emotions going on.
But I'm trying to process it myself. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with you, girl. Like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not the one to keep my feelings to myself. I'm an emotional being. And it's hard for me to fake it if something's going on. But I'm trying to do my best. And he's feeling it. Because when I feel this way, I don't want to look at him because I feel that he senses it. So I'm trying to avoid all eye contact with him. And I'm talking to my daughter. And I'm happy about my pancakes. But he didn't stop me, by the way.
My radar goes off.
He did not stop me from eating those bad boys. He said, I'll have a bite. That's what he said. He didn't say,
Heck yeah.
hey, didn't we make an agreement together? But women, we all know that when we're feeling this way, even if he were to try to say something, I probably would have, I need those pancakes. I would have bit your throat. He would have told me some shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's up, babe? What's going on? What's up? And I'm like, nothing. Like, I'm like, nothing. Looking
like,
away.
nothing.
I'm not looking at him.
Nothing.
I'm like, nothing.
I just love these pancakes so much.
So good.
They make me cry.
You know, but he is like prying. Okay, like he's like prying. No, babe, come on. What's up? What's up, babe?
See.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just not trying to go there right now because I'm feeling a certain way. It's Father's Day. It's his day. And because I'm getting a little crazy right now, I don't want to ruin your day. You know? And so I'm just like, with time, I'm going to process this on my own and I'm going to take care of it to see, is this really something that I need to talk to him, or am I just going woman crazy? And all my women are going to get that, right? Because there's times where we get emotional and we just want to cry or kill someone and we don't know why, but it just comes, and my girls are going to get this. So anyways, I try to blow it off, right? I go on upstairs and I'm getting ready to do this podcast. He's like, hey, let's do this podcast. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like trying to get through this without upsetting him.
What if you were the president?
Dude, all war.
What would happen right now? What would have happened early? Like, we would have started nuclear war over some walnut banana pancakes
for the world. Anyways, let's make this long story short. So I'm upstairs and I'm getting ready, right? I'm listening to, what am I listening to?
All I do is win.
Like, I'm trying to pump myself up here, right? And he gets out of the shower.
And I'm like, let's get this over with. Stop bullshitting.
And I'm
what's going on?
I'm fine. Like, I don't want to talk about it because I haven't had time to process yet, but he's not having that. And I'm still not ready to do it. So we come downstairs to do the podcast and I'm good. Like, I'm good. But we started it and I could tell he wasn't good. And so he's like, and the podcast, I'm like, this is not going to work. Like, this is just not going to work. I'm like, turn it off.
Well, just like you were saying, it's hard for you to fake it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to fake it. And I don't know why. Maybe I need to look it up or whatever. But whenever you're emotional and we have like unresolved issues, for me, it wears me out. It's draining. Like, I don't know why.
And that's
I don't know why, but maybe I need to work on it, whatever.
And that's why, though, I did not want to talk to him about it. Because if it's not that serious, then I don't want to drain you. I don't want to get you upset.
But the thing is that we worked it out and it's done.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's part of my nature being a mechanic or, always, that's just like there's things that are not fixed. We need to fix them.
Well, you know what's so funny about this is that earlier in our relationship, it was the other way around. You're like, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. From the beginning, when we were just learning how to communicate.
The thing is that
Well,
no, it's not that. I think it's also that we have a podcast. Because if we didn't have a podcast, it'd be like, you know what? Whatever. But we have to do this thing together. And it's hard for me to sit here and just fake like nothing's going on when something's going on.
But it wasn't that serious as I meant. Like, I think it was just a woman thing. And he's like looking at me crazy. Like, I'm trying to explain this to him, women, right? And you men that have been married and, or you're with somebody, you're probably like, oh my God, is that what the heck happens to her? Like, she just turns into a different person at certain times of the month. Like,
yeah. Yes, it is.
But just being honest, like, I was just whacked out. So, like,
but
I'm
it's
doing
all
better.
Good.
Yeah. And I told him to do some research on it so that he could be more compassionate about it.
I get it. I do need to do some research. But like I said, if this happened on a Wednesday, then you know what? I'll just leave you. Obviously, you need some time. I'll leave you alone. But I don't know why. Like, it affects me. Yeah. And
Because when I'm ready to talk to you,
then
I'm
we
gonna
talk
come
about
to
it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're going to sit here next to each other and, hey, how's it going? And like, it just make like, there's nothing there. It's like, there's a cloud hanging above us that we're just not, you know.
I mean, it would have came out on the podcast. I would have talked about it because I don't do fake.
Yeah. Either way, it was going to come out on the podcast.
And they would have got it raw, but you stole that from them.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something that we'll look into and I don't know, maybe do some research. So, did you have anything from last week? I know last week you said that you had some stuff that you wanted to get to.
I'm looking at my other notes. And the other thing that I was going to talk about is until you are free from your own self, you are not free.
What does that mean?
Come on. What? Until you are free from your own self, you are not free. The chitter chatter. The chitter chatter that goes up, that goes in your head, that goes on in your head.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Who are you to think you're, successful? You know? You're too fat.
Yeah.
Just all that negativity that goes on in your head until you can control that, turn it off, and replace it with something more positive, you will never be free.
I think, yeah.
You know, to have joy, to have peace, to have love.
I think you need that.
To be, to live a joyful life.
For certain things, I think you need that. There's also, I think everybody has seen something out there where they look at the kids from the United States and the kids from other countries and they ask them questions. I don't know if it's about math or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the kids from the US, you ask them like, how do you feel you are in math? Oh, I'm the best. Oh, I'm so good.
I've heard this before.
I'm so good at math.
Yeah.
And then you test them and they might be one of the worst.
Yeah.
But their self-esteem is through the roof.
Right.
And then you have kids from other countries. It's like, yeah, I'm okay. I could probably do better.
Yeah.
And then they test, really high. So I think sometimes
that's different.
I think sometimes the self-talk
can help you get better, but it's the way you talk to yourself.
Because
like I suck at math, but I can get better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the best at math, but I can get better.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
But most people don't think that way. Most people, it's just very... Like, if somebody were to talk to you the way you talk to yourself, you would beat them up.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't know. Yeah, that's, I've talked to actually in Jiu Jitsu, I've talked to the kids about that before. Because there's been times where they're like, oh, yeah, I did this. I'm like, yeah, you're doing good. And that's, I don't know, that's part of our job is like to build them up. But at the same time, don't go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why, exactly like I was telling Audrey when she was here. It's like, yeah, you have 3 stripes. You may fight a kid with 1 stripe or no stripes. Guess what? If they scrap, they may beat you. It doesn't matter if you have 3 stripes.
It's so weird because she seemed like she was more confident, like in the competition versus at school.
Class?
Because in class...
No, she's been
feisty,
scrapping. She's been scrapping, yeah. And I've talked to Coach, and he said that she's been doing really well. Obviously there's things that she's got to work on, but she's been doing well. Like Joey has been doing really well too. He just froze up yesterday. Yeah. But one thing that I told her yesterday, there's a girl in the class that whoops on her, and she doesn't like it. But she doesn't try with her either. Well,
I've seen her scrap with her.
She's tough. The little girl is tough. She's a higher belt also. But I don't know. It's one of those things where, Coach has said that sometimes when she feels that they're better than her, that she doesn't try as hard.
Right.
But I think she's been working on that and she's been getting better. And I told her like that part of that gold medal also goes to that girl.
Yeah.
because you need people to train with. And even though she gives you a hard time and you may not like it and you think she's rough with you, you know, part of her being rough with you is what made you tough, you know? Yeah. And she had to fight in that tournament. I mean, there was at one point in the second match that she had where they both ended up on their side. Like, they were pretty much even. Like, she had kicked Audrey off. Like, I think Audrey was trying to smash her legs and get on top of her, and she kind of like pushed her off. I'll post a video on our page, but they both ended up like side by side on their sides facing each other. And Audrey jumped up and jumped on top of her.
Man.
And then that's what ended up getting her to the mount and then being able to get the submission. But I told her, I was like, part of being tough, it comes from getting your butt kicked from people that are better than you. And I mean, you have to step up. So yeah, I think
I just saw a different little girl in there.
Yeah.
She like she was up and at it. I told her.
Yeah.
I said, Audrey, as soon as you see the referee's hand go up and down, you jump on that girl like a spider monkey. She started laughing. But I honestly didn't. Like, I was surprised to see that she was feisty, you know, in that ring or in the mat.
Yeah.
On the mat.
And that's a good thing, like we were talking about on the way over there. That's a good thing for her to tap into.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, when you don't do it very often, like for her yesterday, you know what really impressed me was the control that she had. Like, it was her first tournament and she didn't just go crazy.
Yeah, because she tends to do that, though.
Well,
right?
no, it's not that
like
she tends to do that, but I just know, like, like I was telling you, in my experience, when I used to play football, and it's different. Jiu Jitsu is different than football. But I remember playing football, and when it was time to go, especially when I first started, and I put my helmet on, it was almost like I couldn't see anything. Like, I just saw red, and I just wanted to go out there and crush people. And I wasn't thinking about anything. Where she was focused on what she was doing, and she was thinking, and she was doing the moves. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to try and get on top of her. Like, no, she was doing the moves that she had learned.
Yeah.
And that's something that eventually with football, like, it took me time to get in playing a bunch of games and then being able to see what's happening and slow down and stuff like that. But, yeah, she did awesome.
Yeah, she seemed like she was focused.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got back on that, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was a lot of lessons to be learned from all of it.
Yeah.
You know, from watching Joey. I'm talking about even personal. You know, just from watching Joey and watching Audrey.
Yeah.
You know, and her having the confidence to get up there and do what she did, because there was a lot of people there. Like, I asked her, I'm like, were you nervous? And she's like, I was a little bit. She said, when I saw all the people looking, she's like, but then she said, once I started fighting, she's like, I wasn't.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I asked her, did you hear Daddy and Coach coaching you from the sidelines? And she's like, no. So I think she blacked out.
She may not remember.
I saw her looking up.
Because there was one time, I don't know if I was telling her to, I can't remember what, I think she was on top, and maybe she was in side control, and I was telling her to smash the legs down so she can get into mount.
I remember you saying that.
And like, she stops and she looks up at me, and I'm like, focus. Like, don't look at me, look at the girl, you know?
You're yelling at her.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, she better keep her eyes down on the girl. But yeah, she did great. Anyway.
Well, she heard her daddy screaming on the sideline, so. Yeah.
No, it was an awesome day for both of them. Yeah. They both learned a lot.
Yeah. We took them out after.
Yeah, it was pretty much like their day yesterday. Yeah. You know, afterwards, we took care of a couple things we had to do. And then after that, we took them to this gravity. It's like a trampoline park.
Yeah.
That had a bunch of stuff. They had a blast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted them to have a good time. I mean, no matter what happened, if they lost, if they won, I wanted them to have a good time afterwards. So, yeah, it was good.
So what else? What you got?
So for those that know me or have listened to the podcast and know, like, we're always kind of thinking about ways to make money, to kind of move ahead. kind of just set ourselves up for the future, right? One of the things that I brought up to you last week was that we have a rental house, right? Which, unfortunately, right now we're going through the process of getting somebody out and then getting somebody else in.
By the way,
yes,
I could not do that without you. There's no way that I could be a landlord. Like, I just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. And, regardless of the situation, when this came up, right now, the real estate market is pretty hot, right? And we still have a mortgage on this house. And I was thinking to myself, like, who are like the richest people in the country are the banks, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, so what if we pay this house off, and then because we own the house, we become the bank? It's kind of like we own the house free and clear. And what if we sold the house to somebody else, and the house is worth, whatever, $200,000, and they pay us a mortgage with interest like they would to a regular bank. And then, hopefully they pay the house off. If they don't pay the house off, because, with a bank, you stop paying the mortgage, they foreclose on the house,
right?
And you've made all these payments, and then they still own the house. So it's a pretty good, like, backup plan or contingency or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And if they're the richest people in the country, it's like, why not do what they do?
Right.
So I wanted to get some information about that. So maybe we could just get into our advertisement for Trust Inc. right now. But I called the attorneys to find out.
Shield.
Yeah, for Legal Shield. And I asked them about this. And I would have thought that the only way to do it is if you own the house, free and clear. No mortgage, no nothing. Because how are you going to sell a house that doesn't really belong to you? That's one thing that people don't really realize. Like, you think you own these things, but you don't really own it. Until you've made that last payment, you don't own that house.
Right.
So when I talked to the attorney, he's like, yeah, there are people that do that. And in Arizona, if, you're here, I guess it's easier to do a foreclosure process or whatever. But he let me know about these things called a carryback, where a carryback is where you can actually sell the house even when you have a mortgage out on it. I have to do some more research about it and learn a little bit. We're going to look into our mortgage documents for the other house and send it in so that they can review it. But you can sell the house and to somebody else. They can pay you the mortgage through the title company as if you're the bank, and you still have a mortgage out on the house, which is pretty interesting. Because the thing is that I was thinking we have to pay the house off, which might take a few years. But by then, who knows what the market's going to do, right? Because right now, we know that the market is hot.
Yeah.
Like, it is up there. Mm-hmm. So the best thing would be to sell the house sometime in the near future when the market is at its hottest. And then, you can start collecting on the interest and whatever. But one thing that the attorney also told me is that a lot of mortgages have what's called a due on sale clause. And what that means is that if you were to sell your house, then the mortgage is due right then. So that's the first thing we need to find out is if our mortgage has that or not. If it doesn't have it, we can sell the house to somebody else. I know.
I don't know if I would want to sell it right now, though. Like,
yeah,
a lot of my real estate friends
there's things that we have to look into, but that just kind of goes to show,
good.
Like,
that's good to know.
There's always things that we got to think of. We were talking about my retirement and Social Security and all that kind of stuff yesterday. And these are things that, like, we put money away for retirement and we have the other house. And even with all the things that we do, like, I still don't plan on that stuff for retirement. Right. I really don't see myself not working. I don't know. It's weird, but I just don't.
I don't. Yeah, same here. With, what I do.
Yeah. I don't know what work is going to look like in the future. Because we're always looking for stuff and doing different things. I have a great career now, but you never know.
Never know.
Opportunities come up and you got to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be a pilot so you can fly me places.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yes.
So what's up, babe? What do you got?
Well, we're going to have, well, Paul, but these questions here are mainly for Paul. So.
Yeah, so we got the new microphone, and the next podcast that you guys listen to, episode 11, we're going to have to record in the future or in the past and then send it to the future, however that works. Because Sonja's going to be out of town next weekend. So we're going to have to record sometime before you leave. And so we have the podcast ready for when it comes out next week. So that's why we were planning on having a guest today.
Yes.
But it's Father's Day, so it's hard to do something on Father's Day.
I'm really excited to have him, though.
And then next week, you're going to be out of town. So maybe the week after we can do that. Yeah. But yeah, that'll be fun. And we can start getting more guests in. Yes. I think once everything settles down. Then my mom's coming.
Yeah, I'm going to see if she'd be willing to do a podcast so we can learn a little bit more about you from your mom.
Oh, man.
I know what you tell me, but...
She can tell you the high school stories of me getting in trouble.
I know it all.
She's already told you, right? You spent weeks with my mom without me, so I'm sure you guys...
I'm all getting her drunk. Here, Mom, have another drink.
Yeah.
So what did he do?
Yeah. So there was... do you have anything that you want to go over?
No.
No? Mm-mm. So I was there. So on my feed, like I get news things that pop up, and I saw this thing that was kind of interesting. There's this guy here in Arizona, Scott Warren is his name. He's a teacher, I think in Tucson, and he's part of this group that. So obviously here in Arizona we have a lot of problems or situations that have to do with immigration and with people crossing because we're a border state. Right. Yes. With people crossing in from Mexico. And the people that cross aren't only from Mexico. They're from South America. They're from Central America. They even come from, other parts of the world, but they come through Mexico to come here. And what are you laughing at?
That joke you told me.
Oh, man.
You're talking about, I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Should I tell it?
You might as well.
All right. Yeah. So... One of my friends told me he might listen to the podcast. So in Arizona, what are the two cities that have the highest population of Mexicans?
So he's asking me this.
I just thought about this yesterday.
I'm like, Yuma.
She's like, Yuma and what are the two cities that have the highest population of Mexicans?
Phoenix. And then he says
Food City and Tent City. Anyway, if you're in Arizona, you might get the joke. But anyway,
and I'm Mexican, so that's not racist.
So she can co-sign for me, even though I'm not Mexican, but I'm married to one. So, and I speak Spanish.
You've been in a Mexican.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So anyway, so this dude Scott Warren, he's a teacher, and he's part of this group that helps. Not really helps, but like I guess you would say that he helps migrants that are crossing through the desert because, there's I don't know if it's hundreds or thousands of people that die trying to cross.
Called trafficking?
Not exactly. So
because he's not loophole?
No, it's not a loophole. He's not like finding people and bringing them across. What this organization does is that they get like cans of food and bottles of water, and they'll go out into the desert and they drop them off in the desert. Because the people that are coming, they run out of water, they run out of food. I mean, they're going through I can't imagine, like they're coming right now. It's like freaking Game of Thrones. Like they're coming right now over the wall. But I'm talking about the wall on Game of Thrones. Anyway. So so that's what they drop off food and water just to try and it's just like a humanitarian thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so that they don't die out in the desert. I mean, I can't imagine. Like right now it's like over 100 degrees and it's still early. Like by 4:00 today, it's going to be 110.
Yeah. You would think that is illegal, what he's doing.
Well,
because it's kind of like you're robbing the bank and the person in the car is just waiting for you to rob the bank.
You know what they usually charge these guys with is for littering. They charge them with littering for just dropping stuff off in the desert.
Okay.
And usually it's a misdemeanor. Well, this guy, I guess what happened was he was going through the desert to drop off some stuff, and he ran into 2 people. And I guess they had like blisters on their feet. They were dehydrated. And I mean, what are you supposed to do? Just like whatever. Like he was like, they weren't in good shape. Like they weren't going to make it. I don't know, man. It's tough. And he ended up taking them back to their base camp. And it wasn't like, I mean, I guess you could say he was helping them. He was helping them.
Yeah.
Right?
They wouldn't have survived out there.
They wouldn't have survived, and he took them back to their base camp, gave them some water and some food, but then I guess the police saw, or they were kind of keeping an eye on him, and they arrested him, and they arrested him for trafficking.
Ooh.
You know, so now he's got felony charges, and that's something that's, I mean, I guess it's kind of growing nationally, like the news story.
Yeah.
But man, like, just being a human being, like, aside from all the political bullshit that you hear, it's kind of hard, like, thinking, like, what's right, what's wrong. I mean, obviously, if you're a criminal, then, I mean, we don't want you here in the United States, right?
Yeah.
But for you, and especially for me, like, I'm one of the first generations that was born in the United States. It'd be kind of hypocritical to say, like, get your shit. Miguel says, get your shit and get out of my country. Right?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, because people, and not everybody that comes here is a drug dealer or a criminal. I mean, we were watching, I don't know if it was like a Vice documentary, I think that we were watching, where like the guys are working in the Mexicans, I think it's in New York. They were working like a cow farm. You remember that? Like literally shoveling shit.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Disgusting. Mm-mm. They were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't robbing people, and they would have to go to the store at night because they didn't want to be, like, they would be working during the day, all day, and then they would try to go to the store at night when it was dark so that it would be hard to tell who they were.
Yeah.
And they would get picked up and deported all the time. So
and the owner was like devastated. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things.
He said it was hard to find, you know,
people willing to do that work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man, like the whole politics thing, like I really don't care. I don't care about the politics, whether you see, you know, you're lefty or righty, Republican, whatever. I don't give a shit.
I think we're independent. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I do think is that there should be a way to, I think, you know what, if you come here and you commit a crime, you fuck up, like you're gone. And then you can't come back.
Yeah.
But for people that want to come here, I mean, this country's, the foundation was based off of immigrants, you know? And for people that want to come here and, you know, do something for their family, that want to work, it should be easier, maybe not to get your citizenship, but maybe to get an ID number where you can pay taxes, or maybe just because they have that. They have where you can get a temporary, you know, tax number or whatever. Or maybe just a campaign to make them aware, like, hey, if you want to do things the right way, maybe you're not a citizen, but you can at least pay taxes while you're here, and we're not going to fuck with you until, you know, you've been through the process. But just be aware that if you fuck up while you're here, you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, just something. I don't know, man. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
Because this is a great country, and we have to kind of protect what we have, you know?
I have many friends
it's difficult.
Who are, you know, from Mexico that own businesses and have been here for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
You know, hard workers. They pay their taxes.
Yep. So, yeah, I found that story kind of interesting. Like, this dude's got felony charges now for doing, I mean, he's kind of putting himself already in a hard spot, but if all they're doing is trying to look out for people that are crossing the desert, I mean, shit, man. Can you imagine crossing for days, 120 degrees? Like, all you have is your backpack, whatever you can carry. I mean, you're not carrying bindles or bundles of cocaine or marijuana or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're just trying to get over here so that hopefully you can shovel shit like the guys in New York.
But why not do it legally?
I don't know if maybe they don't know any better.
Is.
Well, I think it's a long process. I don't think they can get in as quickly as just crossing. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
that's the thing.
And I don't
And
claim
that's
to
what
know.
people's argument is. Like, okay, we don't have a problem with you,
Yeah.
living here. Just do it legally. And
Yeah. And you know what's kind of hypocritical sometimes? Do you remember one of the best things that I've seen on Netflix? You would probably agree. There's a show by John Leguizamo, and he had a Broadway play that they recorded, and it was the Latin History for Morons. Do you remember that? With John Leguizamo, he talks about like the history of the United States and Latin America.
It's set up as a play.
It's set up as a play.
Okay.
It was a Broadway play, and it goes all through the history. And it's like before everything, guess who was here?
Yeah.
It was like the Latin American people were here from South America, North America. Like then Spain came over, and it's incredible.
Yes.
That's the history they don't teach in the history books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That movie everyone's talking about, it's, I don't know if it's a documentary, but the one that I've been trying to watch with you and we keep falling asleep. What is it?
Oh man.
There's
it's
so
on
many
Netflix.
people talking about it.
It's set in New York.
Yeah.
We got to look it up. Anyway.
Look it up. Anyways, so I see it, and it's about these 4 young...
These black boys in New York.
Yeah.
Right?
So I start watching it. It looks interesting. And I had to turn it off. Like there's a lot of discrimination, just a lot going on.
Yeah.
In that movie. And so many people are talking about it on Facebook. But
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it. But the little that I did, I actually had to turn it off. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if we see it together, I'll be able to watch it.
Yeah.
But there's so many people that are talking about it. And there's a lot of discrimination.
When they see us. Yeah, so we've watched a little bit of the first. Actually, I saved it in our list because I wanted to watch it. Yeah. So I don't know. I think New York and LA, they get a lot of press. Like a lot of the media is based out of New York and LA, and it's crazy because the media controls a lot of everything. Like I was talking to somebody about like living here and there. Actually, there's a guy from work that just came from California, and he said everything is so divided. The media is based in LA, so like if you don't see things a certain way, then you're part of the other team or whatever. But I don't know if I see that much here. Do you see that? Like the division that like if you were not to step out of your house and all you watch is Facebook, the news, it seems like everything is so divided. Like we've never been more divided in our history. Right?
It seems that way.
But if you let's say you were to turn all of that off and you were just to live your life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I never thought about it that way.
It's crazy because that's what, that's how they make you think.
Got it.
That's how they make you think. They make you think that this is the only thing that's like Trump is the worst, Obama is the best, or, Trump is the best, Obama's the worst. They make you think that way. But when you shut all of it off and you just kind of go about your day and you look at the people, I couldn't tell who's what. And, it's like, hey, what's going on?
Dang, that's pretty deep, babe.
I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think, yeah, they're trying to divide. They're trying to cause problems and start stuff. But what we need is more love.
Yes. So you're catching on.
I don't know.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
But it's true. That you need to tweet that. You need to put that on Facebook.
Yeah. And speaking of Facebook, one last thing before we get out of here. I've been thinking about lately, like you were telling me that I've been on my phone a lot lately.
Yes.
I don't know if I have been,
You
whatever.
have. I'll record it every time.
But we were talking about this not too long ago, but there's ways that you can disable apps from your phone. And one of our favorite shows, like we talked about, Black Mirror, had an episode about social media and the effects of social media. It was crazy. And I don't know, I was kind of thinking about just turning it all off. Just like turn off the Facebook notification. Like if you really need to get hold of me, you can get a hold of me. Mm-hmm. Send me a text because I'll get that. Or call me. I'll get that. Or send me an email if you have my email. Aside from that, maybe I'll turn it off. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe I can check it for an hour a day. But then you think about it, an hour a day?
You schedule it. That's a long...
No, but that's what I'm saying.
That's a long time.
Like I was thinking an hour a day, that seems like a long ass time.
Unless...
So maybe a half hour a day. Yeah. Unless it has to do with marketing, the podcast or whatever. Yeah. But aside... And I'm talking about like a Facebook Live or whatever. But besides that half hour a day is podcast work included.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, great job on that. Like that picture. Mm-hmm. All right, check out our podcast. And then that's it. That's it. Like, I don't want anything else to do with it.
Okay. So, it's already been an hour.
Sorry, we got a couple minutes. So what I was going
to say is, like, I've disconnected from Facebook. And that's how I think I'm noticing you more on it.
Okay.
You know, because I have disconnected. But when we can't be selfish and we can't just go on to Facebook and promote our stuff and market our stuff and then have people comment on our stuff and like our stuff when we're not willing to do the same. Why are you smiling?
Because it's a dirty game.
It is. So like for me, an hour would be good because I have a lot of friends that have their own businesses and they have things going on and I want to help them. So I want to share their posts. So it's a give and take.
This is the thing. But what if it was a half hour a day? So it's not like you're not getting back to them. You're just not getting back to them instantaneously as soon as they, 2 seconds later, like, you can see. Because it says posted 1 minute ago and then bam, respond. It's like, no, it's not that big of a deal. I will respond eventually, but it's when I decide that I need to respond. It's not like, I got a message. I got a notification. Look at this. My phone went off. I got a vibration, you know?
Yeah, like we just put the rental house up and my phone is like ding, 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 ding. And yesterday I was responding, but yesterday was family day. And so I decided, okay, I'm not going to do it because the house hasn't even ready yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to respond.
Do you ever get that feeling like when somebody posts something or you post something and somebody replies, do you ever get that feeling like your notification goes off and you check it, but you don't want to be like, respond, and it's been less than a minute since they posted? You ever get that?
No. Like, I want to make them wait?
No, it's not like you want to make them wait, but it's kind of like, I don't know. Do I
really have to respond right now?
It kind of seems like all you do is, like, if you're always responding right away, it's like, don't they have anything better to do than fucking sitting there on their phone waiting to get, I got another message. Hold on, let me respond real quick. You know?
I don't know. I think everybody just needs to disconnect.
I think, you know what?
Everybody
I'm going to try that.
Disconnect.
I'm going to try that maybe for 2 weeks, see how it goes. And then I'll set times that, I'll do stuff for the podcast or, post for friends or, whatever. And that goes for just all social media.
I need a schedule in my phone for us to
Facebook
market
Live.
Because I've been disconnected. Like I've been so focused on me and the kids, like while you're at work and, that I haven't really got on Facebook because it gives me anxiety. Like I mentioned, like there's just too much going on and some of the negativity, I don't want it to come in. So I just avoid it.
And I don't think, it's not all bad.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But
the thing is that you can't avoid the bad stuff.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And sometimes that sticks with you. Like
that monk guy that I mentioned on a few podcasts, like he's got some really good stuff. You'll have Will Smith, like he posts some really good stuff. Like you have people that, you want to see their stuff. Like
Yeah.
you need that kind of stuff. But then the other stuff kind of slips in between. That's the shit that you don't need.
I think we all just need some self-discipline when it comes to social media. Even if you're doing, you're marketing your business on social media, like schedule a time every day or whenever it is, to post and to remark and to send messages and all that good stuff, because you don't want it to consume your life, and it will. And it's so easy to do that, and your kids are watching you. So be sure that when you're not, when you're with your kids, you're present, you're there. When you're driving, like one time I was driving and I did something and he's like, aren't you driving right now?
Yeah, I think he liked the picture.
And, and so just,
that's another thing.
It's not worth it. It really isn't. It's not worth it. And I don't have a habit of doing it, but that day when I did it and you said, hey, aren't you driving right now?
Yeah.
It's becoming aware. That's what it is. It's becoming aware of what you're doing. And your kids are watching you. So
I'm going to do this from now on. I'm going to turn off the notifications, and I'm going to set a time to do what I got to do on social media. And I'm going to put my phone in the back of the car before I start driving. Like my driver's seat has a pocket in the back. I'll just stick it in that pocket because I can't get it.
You really need to put it back
or just
there?
The thing is that when if it rings, I have
do what you gotta do.
No, I have a headset. If somebody calls, I can answer it.
Got it.
But if I get a text, I get an email, I get whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And it's like, it's so expected sometimes. Oh, hey, did you get my text? It's like when you're driving, it's like, oh, no, hold on. Oh, see, cool, look at that.
Yeah.
It's not even a thing.
Hard, like with me and Trust Inc., because if my title company, my escrow, if they need a signing, like you want to respond within a certain amount of time. But you're right. Like if there's a red light, then that's when I can check and I can see when there's an email.
Is the red light. That's where you can start veering back off, because I'm at the red light. But then the red light turns green and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I was checking it at the red light.
Yeah.
Let me finish this real quick. But you're driving now.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's something that we'll work on. Maybe we can talk about that.
Why am I hungry?
On the next podcast. Let's go make some more pancakes. And anyway, thanks for being with us this week. As always, this podcast is brought to you by Trust Inc. USA. .com. That's trustincUSA.com.
We are a mobile notary service. We are nationwide, so it doesn't matter where you live, we got your back. We do a lot of work with title companies, law firms, and individuals as well. We are also independent associates with Legal Shield, and what Legal Shield does is it gives you access to law firms at the palm of your hand. It does not matter what state you're in.
Awesome. And also our podcast grows by sharing the podcast. That's the number one way that it grows, is word of mouth. So tell your friends, share it when we put a post up about it. We would definitely appreciate it. Our website is oppositesattractpod.com, and you can find us on Facebook. That website will take you to our Facebook page. We also have a Facebook group. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Opposite Pod. And you can find us at all the podcast apps, however you listen to podcasts.
Yes. So happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Amazing day.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.